welcome to my humble abode. Today we're going to be reacting to some Nick Crowley again, but this time with O in High and what her story is about. So yeah, pretty simple. Of course, if you don't want to listen to me yet, go ahead, check out this video down below. I will link his channel down in the description. And yeah, all right, let's watch. Let's go.
This is O in High, a 36-year-old Korean actress turned beauty YouTuber, a beloved and at times controversial celebrity from South Korea.
I mean, what's controversial though? When we're talking about South Korea, like, anything could be controversial. That's the problem with it. Like, holy shit, there's been so many people that have been blacklisted for the most dumbest reasons. Oh God, all right, let's continue, let's
And
hear
the video you're watching now follows the typical mold of many others across her channel, as she frequently shared beauty tips in the form of vlogs. However, this video came with a twist.
Before I move on, can I just say she has flawless skin, flawless. There is not a blemish on her at all. Good for her, man, honestly.
Due to the fact that it would prove to be the last she'd ever post.
Oh, that's sad.
As just 2 days upon going live, she would be dead, leaving behind a grieving family, thousands of heartbroken fans, and what some would claim to be a cryptic set of clues. It was the night of September 13th, 2020, when a friend of O in High checked in on the actress, only to find her unconscious in her home.
20 though, that was the year of the shutdown. So that could make it easier to kill anybody if this was a killer. Or it could be easy for someone to take their own life because a lot of people aren't, able to be shut in for as long as people have, you know what I mean? But anyway, I digress. Let's continue.
Medical personnel were called, but by the time they reached the hospital, she had no pulse. And despite having been revived for a short period of time, she would sadly pass away on the morning of September 14th.
That's sad.
The investigation that followed was a quick one, and equally as vague, with officials hastily stating that the actress had taken her own life, something that would be confirmed via autopsy the following day, with her official cause of death being cardiac arrest from a suicide attempt. Although details from this autopsy would never be released.
Why? Why wouldn't you just release it if it was a suicide? If it was a suicide, just fucking release it. What are you hiding? What are you not telling everyone? That's already suspicious. I'm just gonna say it.
And no further context was provided, leading to the story being forgotten, as many have accepted In Hig's death as an open and shut case. However, despite the autopsy being released, online speculation had only just begun, as internet sleuths began to notice a
Is she dyeing her eyebrows? Yo, those look like freaking slugs on her goddamn eyebrows. Actually, I don't even know anybody who dyes their eyebrows. That's like going beyond. Honestly, good for you though. Again, if that's what you like to do, good for you.
Number of oddities, especially in regards to her social media use in the days leading to her death. And it all seemed to begin with that final video titled In High's Nightly Routine Skincare. The video itself was labeled as Volume 48, something she did chronologically with every video she uploaded. But strangely, In High had made an error with this final video, as her previous upload was 45, so naturally this video would have been Volume 46.
45 to 48. Was that purposefully done by her or by somebody else? Do we know if she is the one that actually posted it? I don't know, let's watch.
Instead of 48. A rather minor detail to nitpick, but it gets even stranger from here. As the video plays, things take a sudden turn as a jarring glitch unfolds on the screen. A glitch that begins 48 seconds in and ends at the 1 minute and 46 second mark.
즉흥적으로 해보려고 카메라를 켰습니다. 아 시원해. 아직 머리도 안 말렸는데 진짜
Oh my god.
리얼로 보여주려고 정말 평소에 쓰는 나이트 케어가 어떻게 되는지 순서도 지금
I'm getting a headache from watching this. But God, that's kind of creepy though. She's like brushing her hair, but it just happens to be at the point where it's right here. So it's like, ooh. It's like she's like walking at her neck. That is like creepy, but like, is it on purpose or is it just like accidental? Like, oh, she just happens to be brushing her hair at this specific time that it glitches out. You know what I mean?
즉흥적으로. 첫 번째는 토너를
headache.
화장솜에 묻혀서 닦아내야겠죠?
The video of Inhai randomly begins to buffer for nearly an entire minute in a bizarre and disturbing manner, as it gives the illusion of Inhai chopping at her neck over and over and over again. And even more strangely, despite the audio track being consistent throughout this strange glitch, around the 92-second mark, you can hear what appears to be another voice come in.
아시죠?
It seems unnaturally high-pitched and clear.
I mean, it could be someone else's, sure, but is it? It could be her own, but it's just sped up. And when it's sped up, the voices do sort of sound almost chipmunky. Just like if you slowed it down, the voices would go deeper. So I don't know.
Clearly was not part of the original audio track. According to multiple reports online, this unexplained voice supposedly says something that roughly translates to, "I'm going to die," though some have countered this claim, stating that this translation was a reach. Around the 103rd second mark, another unnatural voice can also be heard, though to my knowledge, a direct translation hasn't been found. And immediately following the strange soundbite, the video begins to play normally.
I mean, isn't that just her talking? That's just her talking normally, but it just happened to glitch out, so she sounds like a goddamn chipmunk. I don't think another person was there for this video. I think it was just her sped up. Does that make sense? Am I talking sensely or something? I don't know, whatever.
As if nothing happened. It's an error that lasts no more than a minute, yet the clock in the background of the video skips forward 3 to 4 minutes. Potentially,
If it skips forward 3 minutes, that means it's some part of it was cut out. But what part was cut out? We may never know.
casting doubt on the idea that this could be an error within the video file itself.
No.
All in all, this entire section of the video is off-putting.
It is.
And Inhai herself even addresses this by adding, "Please skip over the buffering part," in parentheses at the end of her title. Despite the clarification, it's hard to ignore the movements she makes during this. I mean, she's repeatedly chopping at her neck for a whole minute. And couple this with the supposed disembodied voice seemingly saying, "I'm going to die." Something about this video just wasn't adding up.
I mean, it could just, sure, it could be a coincidence. Sure, but is it though? Is it? And are we sure it was her that even put that text on the video? I wonder if she puts her own voice over the actual video itself just to let us know that she was the one who made these edits. I don't know. Let's hopefully they go into detail about it.
As after all, looking through her channel, every one of her other videos are cleanly edited and filmed in a professional manner. And going through her catalog reveals no major editing flaws. Yet this minute-long error in the beginning of a video made the final cut. Something seems very off here, especially given the fact that just 48 hours later, Inhai would be dead. And though this may just be a coincidental glitch, I struggle to believe that an error like that could cause these strange voices.
I mean, part of it was sped up, so she has obvious strange voices of her own voice in it. Again, I don't think it was anybody else's voice but hers in that video. Like, am I taking crazy pills? Or is that her voice sped up? Like, hello? Like,
Especially when those
Wait.
voices are pitched differently, and that one might be saying, "I'm going to die." But if
I mean, I don't know about that one because I don't speak Korean, but some people say it does, some people doesn't say it doesn't. So like, I mean, fuck if I know.
it wasn't a buffering error, then that means it would have been done intentionally, which is incredibly important to note given that Inhai was her own video editor for this particular video. She had sole control over its production, meaning she would have been the one to orchestrate this, which leaves the big question, why?
Why exactly? Okay, so she is the one who does all her editing of her videos and does it meticulously in order and the way she likes it. Why would she do this one with a giant error, and especially one where she's brushing her hair at the exact moment? It does look like she's cutting at her neck or whatever, but why at that exact moment in the video would you have that be buffering or having an error? Why would you even leave that in? You cut out what looked like part of the 3 minutes because of the clock, right? You cut out some part of it. Why not cut out the whole thing and be like, hey, I had to cut this out because of an error? Why leave it in if you like to be professional? That part doesn't make any sense unless she wanted it left in to maybe make a statement, I don't know, unless she wanted to make a statement of some sort that people would find later. I don't know. And especially naming it 48 instead of 46, that's very odd too. But I guess she could also have just been in a rush to get this out. She honestly, she could have said, fuck it, I just want to get this last video out. I mean, that's possible too, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think any of us will ever know.
Well, many have pointed to the idea that Owen High was alluding to her own death within this video, as just 48 hours later she would be found without a pulse. A time that is noteworthy, considering she had mistakenly numbered her video as 48, despite it really being the 46th upload, along with the glitch itself beginning at the 48-second mark. And to add even more to the coincidence of this number, in her video prior to her last, she added these subtitles which feature the numbers 4 and 8 shown over and over again.
Okay, now that's something. I mean, you might call me fucking crazy. I might be, but sure, it could be a coincidence, but this many 48 is telling me she knows what she was doing. She was alluding to something that happens to do with 48. But what that is, I don't fucking know. But I don't think that's just a coincidence on her part.
Which, in the context of the video, did actually translate to a relevant joke. However, it's strange regardless. That would make one question whether she used the number 48 to symbolize her impending
Significance of 48. Video mistaken labeled as 48. Glitch begins around the 48-second mark. 4 and 8 are spammed in the second to last upload. She would be found without pulse 48 hours later. Wow. I don't think that's a coincidence. This many 48s is not a coincidence. All right, there's a reason for it. What is the reason? We don't know, but it's not just a coincidence, guys. Could it be she was telling, hey, I'm going to maybe neck myself in 48 hours, or something's gonna happen to me in 48 hours, or someone killed me in 48 hours, something like that. Maybe it's possible. I don't think we can't rule it out.
Death,
but that certainly,
especially given the movement of her comb and the morbid voiceover. And the theories don't stop from there, as there were even those who thought that this wasn't a clue to her impending suicide, but rather it was a hint at her impending murder.
Exactly. Fucking exactly.
This theory stems from her last Instagram post, uploaded on the night of her death, that simply featured a photo of a flower, but the caption is what interests most, as it translated to, I guess everyone is seeing this, even the person who said I'm just a body, implying a piece of meat, and saying it's not the wording that he can even use till the end. I think I have to expose you because of that one phrase. I didn't want to believe anything else that came out of that mouth. Tagged in the post was a prominent lawyer and frequent social media user named Hu Wang.
Ew. Bro, nobody should be calling anybody a piece of meat. Like that's fucking gross and disrespectful. Doesn't matter whose mouth it comes out of. That's gross. Alright, sorry, I just had to get that out there. Let's continue.
Man who, even to this day, we're unsure of what his relationship was to Owen High. Much like the video she had posted in the days prior, this caption was extremely out of the ordinary for Owen High, as typically her posts were positive and cheerful. And after an hour of confused fans questioning her, Owen High would delete the post altogether. Around this time, Wang would also delete all of his social media, having gone completely silent since.
That's not a good look for him. That's not a good look. If you scrub all your social medias, that means you have something to hide. You have something to hide. Like, why not just leave your social medias up and pretend like you don't have something to hide? Like, Jesus Christ. That's suspicious of him. That really is.
Quickly, it was speculated that In-Hai was going to expose Wang for some type of misconduct, and in fear of losing his career, he went after her. This theory was backed up by testimony from In-Hai's own family, who upon seeing In-Hai in the hospital, noticed bruises all over her body, although this was likely a result of the hours of CPR that had been performed on her. Regardless of what the connection was, it is a bit odd that just one day after threatening to expose this popular lawyer, she was found unresponsive in her own home.
One day one day after she said that she was dead, that's already a big red flag. Why would you kill yourself after you say you were going to expose someone for malicious intent? Or like, not malicious intent, sorry. What the fuck am I talking about? For like something he did or said, something like that. No one would kill themselves one day after saying you're going to expose someone for wrongdoing. That's already another massive red flag. Also, why didn't her parents say, I mean, yes, you can get bruising from CPR because it can in fact break your ribs because you're trying to get to the heart and your ribs are in the way. So that's possible, but why didn't they say exactly where the bruising is on her body? Like, just state that if there was more bruising around her body, state that. Don't just say there were bruises.
And is again made more convincing given her final video, making it seem like she knew what would happen to her if she came forward against him. However, in actuality, Wang was never even considered a suspect by police, and it has never even been proven that the two knew each other, making it unlikely that he had any involvement in her death.
Excuse me? He wasn't even a suspect? Are you shitting me? She made a fucking post stating she was basically alluding to him because she put him in the post. Let me say that again. She put him in that Instagram post, alluding to the fact that they knew each other somehow. They both knew each other somehow, and they didn't think of looking. Why would she just randomly put an Instagram post up, putting him in it, and all those things that she was gonna come out about him, and you stating, oh, he's not a suspect because they didn't know each other. Clearly they did. What are you hiding?
And in actuality, it seems more likely that this final Instagram post, and even this final video, really just hinted at Inhai's declining mental health. Which brings
Bruv, that is not declining. She was putting that man on blast. They knew each other. I'm gonna say it, they knew each other.
This is back to the idea that this video was made as a hint that she would take her own life. According to her own friends, Inhai had spent years in a deep depression that stemmed all the way back in 2011. That year, she became enthralled in controversy when she wore a revealing dress at a Korean award show. And though this may seem like a minor detail, this would actually lead to her eventual blacklisting.
I'm sorry, was that her dress? This dress? Or is this the dress that was controversial? There's nothing wrong with that dress. That's not even revealing. Huh? I'm confused. This dress isn't revealing in the slightest. This dress should not be controversial. She should not be, if this was the dress, I don't know if it was, but she's covered up. Hello? Huh? There's nothing wrong with that dress to be blacklisted. Y'all be tripping over there.
She became enthralled in controversy when she wore a revealing dress at a Korean award show. And though this may seem like a minor detail, this would actually lead to her eventual blacklisting from the Korean film industry, as she would receive less and less roles until 2014, when she would cease appearing in films completely, becoming a universally hated person in the country she lived in.
Man, South Korea is, oh God, it's terrible over there in that industry. It really is. Like, how do I even describe it? I don't even know how to describe it. It's just awful. There's all these rules that you have to go by. You can't be yourself. You can't go out of the mold. Strict. That's the word that I was trying to think of. It's very strict over there. Extremely strict. And if I'm not mistaken, there's actually been quite a lot of suicides over there just because of how strict and also awful some fans are of these not influencers, but like celebrities, right? Ah, jeez. It's just awful.
So it's understandable why she would have been in a very dark place mentally. And given the taboo nature of mental health in South Korea, she likely did not have resources for proper therapy or medication to help deal with these feelings. Something that could have escalated to her acting erratically, and maybe even sending out a cryptic call for help, with Wang potentially having said or did something that would prove to be the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. Or at the end of the day, it could all just be a huge coincidence, as, after all, practically all the articles we could find on this case are far from reputable, and many of the strange details could, at the end of the day, be chalked up to as confirmation bias. Plus, we've seen many online claims that it's very likely the mysterious voices being heard were really just her voice sped up for a comedic effect.
Why would that be a comedic effect? That especially if she's so meticulous about her videos, that wouldn't be for laughs.
some sort of sarcastic joke. A note that is easy to miss as a non-native speaker. Whatever the true meaning of this video is, it serves as a dark spot in the world of YouTube, with it having been mysteriously removed once speculation began to arise for reasons that remain unknown, making it
Her video was removed. Obviously it wasn't by her. She was fucking dead. May she rest in peace. But Jesus Christ, there's no way that's not suspicious that her video was removed. There's no fucking way.
a cryptic yet fitting end to one of YouTube's darkest videos.
Listen, I don't know what happened. You don't know what happened. At the end of the day, I don't think any of us will know what truly went on in her life that day. 48 hours later, I don't think it's a coincidence that all those things added up with 48, you know? I think it did have something to do. I think it was a message she was sending out into the world. I think it was a message she was sending out into the world, whether it be via suicide or she knew someone was gonna kill her. So she just wanted it to be out into the world to be like, hey, 48 hours later, I'm gonna net myself. 48 hours later, someone's gonna kill me. I can see both roads, you know, like alluding to both roads, but I believe it is a message she's sending out. With that, hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought, what you guys think of. Do you think it's a coincidence? Do you think it's something else? You know, just like let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. But with that, like it, dislike it, but at least subscribe.